With the stroke of a pen, President Trump yesterday legalized industrial hemp.
It's a significant boost for the industry and for the producers of CBD oil who have been operating on the fringes of the law. Joining us now is Dr. Damas. He is a medical doctor and an advocate for CBD. Nice to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you being here.
It's a great day.
So you've called this a very big deal. Explain why this is a very big deal.
So this has basically ended cannabis prohibition in a sense, right? In terms of hemp being part of the cannabis family of plants. This law has now made industrial hemp completely legal and all its derivatives. So prior to this, CBD and THC were Schedule 1 substances, but now CBD has been eliminated from that. There's still some details to work out, but now we're opening the market for this great medicinal compound to be available for all Americans to use.
Of course, we did a story with you not long ago. I interviewed Larry Chester when you were there with him, the former Miami Dolphin player, and he was suffering greatly with a lot of issues until he says you were the miracle cure for him. So what do you think this will mean for people like him?
So for people like him and others across the country, you're going to create a situation where there's going to be more access to this medicine, to this compound. There's going to be more research, there's going to be more availability, there's going to be a complete explosion, in my opinion, of products and more, as a matter of fact, and more validity in terms of the science and being able to get funding and grants, just a whole plethora of things. It's a wonderful day, again, to be part of this space.
So it kind of takes the stigma out of what you've been doing, but clarify for us, because you've already been prescribing CBD oil.
Correct.
It's available for people to buy in different forms. So how is this now different?
So CBD actually was operating in a gray area. You had CBD, THC, and then it was a class 1 substance, but it wasn't really, and then Epidiolex, which was recently given clearance by the FDA, which is a drug for seizures by GW Pharma. Then that was allowed to use CBD as a non-Schedule 1 substance. Now it's completely off of that. That means people who are producing and using it have access to banking. Right? Or producers, manufacturers, farmers have access to subsidies. Researchers have access to federal grants. All the science can now participate as opposed to doing it on your own or kind of in the shadows. Our study that we're doing with athletes was kind of like a self-funded study with some other people that got into it. But now we're going to be basically entering the mainstream with CBD. It's more people have access, more people can use it.
It seems like this growth has been on a state-by-state basis, and some states are actually legalizing it for recreational use, some just for medicinal use. Do you see at some point nationally there's going to be one standard, uniform standard?
I think that's part of it. Everything has been happening in small increments. It really started as a grassroots movement with people who were strong proponents and believers in the medicinal value of the plant and its derivatives. And state by state, you had this really strong emotional outpouring of individuals who poured all their efforts into this. And it spread across the country. Now we have the changing in terms of the landscape, pardon the pun, with regards to hemp products, which again, don't make you high, right? There's so little THC in it, it doesn't make you high. That is one of the stigmas that's always been associated with cannabis-associated or derivative products because, hey, it makes you high. Well, hemp CBD doesn't, but it gives you all the medicinal benefit. That's the wonderful part of it, and I can see that this is establishing a standard long term. So some of the law actually has wording in it that says, well, states can establish their own laws, and if they fail to, the federal government will establish an umbrella policy that will cover everyone.
So when we talk about our state of Florida, Florida Agriculture Commissioner-elect Nikki Fried has said she looks forward to being a leader, to having Florida being a leader in the state, in the country when it comes to hemp production. What kind of ramifications is that going to have for our economy here in Florida?
Economically, in the cannabis space, we know that cannabis is one of the largest growing segments of the economy. It's projected to be anywhere from a 25 billion to a 50 billion industry within 10 to 15 years. Florida, according to some estimates, could be the 3rd or 4th largest market in there. And within that, CBD and hemp specifically, is the fastest growing segment, which is growing about 1,400, 1,500% per year. That means Florida projected to be the third largest market. With the growth, we are now players in that industry. That means our agriculturists, our farmers can now get involved. They can now get the subsidies. They can now get the crop insurance. Oh yeah. So it's going to win. And we have a wonderful, population which is aging. People come to Florida and they stay here. They don't leave, and they can take advantage of this as a lifelong medicinal tool, which will help them enjoy the quality of life and enjoy the sunshine down in Florida.
All right. Well, thank you so much for breaking it down for us. Appreciate it.
Well,
Nice to have you.
thank you for having me.